Hello, everyone! Welcome to Out of Our Mains, the show where we're out of our mains, and you probably are too, because you're listening to some colorful horse addicts ramble on about a show meant for little girls. I'm Maynard, and Robert actually isn't here today, unfortunately. He got some laryngitis, so his throat is kind of funky at the moment. So I last minute managed to wrangle some special guests in. So this is actually going to be an episode focused around a big pony Minecraft server called BronyTales. So with me here today is the owner of said server, DataByte.
Hello.
As well as the head admin, the Yes Bug, Daring Shepard.
Buzz, hello.
So you guys have been working together pretty closely on BronyTales for, Daring, you hopped on, I think, 2 years ago almost now? Somewhere around there?
I believe I joined on my birthday, May 1st, 2020.
Gotcha. So yeah, it's been a little bit over 2 years. So
Daring is 2 years old now. Happy
Yay!
birthday!
Wow, I cannot believe this information.
2 years, only a week away. Just a week away. I am so
arrived
happy
so
about
soon.
this information. Oh,
That has been an ongoing joke. It's been going for several weeks now.
Oh yeah,
gosh.
it's
At
like the
least a
Snuffy
week.
type too.
Yeah, I love it. At least a week. Just a week away. This joke is only a week away from dying. Wow, I can't believe it.
Yes.
I am so happy about this information. Yeah, but anyways, so I just wanted to ask, I guess, for anyone who hasn't really heard about the server, Data, do you mind talking a little bit about what BronyTales is, I guess, and explain it in your own words?
So BronyTales is a Minecraft server, which has been designed around both community and also family friendliness. So we're not trying to be a teenagers hangout. We're trying to be an all ages hangout. So we have players from 40 years old all the way down to 5 years old, and generally a place for everyone to hang out and have fun in a safe environment. That was really the goal of it. The secondary goal is it's a community server. It's both built for the community and is also run by the community. So long as we have players who are willing to put into the community, we will continue to have a server for people to play on. That sort of a idea.
Heck yeah. And from what I've seen, I don't expect that to I don't really expect that to change anytime soon, because I personally I joined the server I guess it would have been a little bit before, just only a little bit before Daring joined back in early 2020. I spent an absurd amount of time on the server, just getting to know people, doing random tasks and such for people that needed help with various projects, because people on BronyTales are freaking ambitious. The server's been going on for a few years, and there are people who have built entire massive castles in survival. There's the whole no life base. There's all of the crazy stuff that Sombra's done.
There's the hole.
There's the hole. Oh my gosh, the hole. There's
Smolder's Dragonlands.
Oh my gosh, the Dragonlands. I haven't even explored that much because I took a pretty long break from the server for a while, but I've been playing on it again recently myself. So
I encountered the Dragonlands by chance, and I was wandering around wow, this is some really cool terrain generation. What happened here?
I knew they revamped their generation, but geez. Yeah. So I figure, I guess I should ask, like, so, you guys are the owner and the head admin, so what exactly, like, do you do for the server? I mean, Data, I know you open the server, and, I know, Daring does a lot of, like, config stuff, but, either of you mind elaborating on, like, what you do specifically?
Well, my portion of running the server is like back-end server setup and, well, making sure everything is running smoothly typically. So that goes from everything from sourcing the hardware, making sure that backups are run, making sure that the server itself remains stable long term. That includes also, I had to work with the data center for a while to change some of the anti-DDoS settings because we were having some troubles with that one at one point.
Oh boy,
Yeah,
that was
that one's a Sega.
a...
I also work with actually coding the server. We have well over 100 different plugins which change various functionalities and add new things to the server, and at least half of them, if not more, have either been modified or custom coded by me.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of work that's been put into the server to make sure it runs as well as it does and as unique as it does, because we are the only Minecraft server to have a number of these features. The pony plugin is a real favorite. We get a
A
lot of
big
people
one.
asking, "Hey, where did you find this plugin?" We made it. Can I have it? No, this is ours. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah. It's funny. Wasn't someone at some point was like trying to pay you like $20 or something to
Right.
have the plugin, and it's like, dude.
Yeah,
um,
I have probably 500 hours of work put into that plugin.
yeah. If you guys haven't been on BronyTales, the race plugin alone is like, it's insane. It's a massive game changer. You can choose your pony race, like by default, like Earth Pony, Pegasus, or Unicorn. And recently, you guys have been adding like tons of new races, like changelings, dragons. There's even like Umbrum on the server and everything. And they all have some of them have like skills that are similar to others, but they're all like, they all have their unique stuff. My personal favorite has been just Unicorn, with the amount of like different spells that you have, like blink to teleport yourself the direction you're looking, or like levitation, that sort of thing, with the whole mana meter. Like, gosh, it's so fun to screw around with, especially if you have binds and such for
Oh yeah,
for each
keybinds.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
So my favorite race to build so far has been Changeling. That one was a fever dream. Like, you know what? This would be really cool to release for Hearts and Who's Day, Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow.
Oh,
Oh
I have
gosh.
5 hours before midnight. Can I get this done?
Oh no.
Oh, I was having so much fun with it, though. It
You
was
programmed
hilarious.
it in one night.
Yes.
Holy crap. That's funny.
Another favorite of mine was actually the April Fool's one that we just put out this year, which is Goat.
Oh, yeah.
It
Was
does nothing.
You're just a regular vanilla Minecraft
Yes.
person, right?
It still has the level ups, and you have to work to level it up, but the level ups gain you nothing. It does nothing.
I didn't realize it had level ups.
Yes.
That's awesome. And it's funny because like there are some people who legitimately play with that, because most of the races don't really have any massive downsides other than like limiting your diet, or I think in like the flying race's case, like
Mhm.
less health. But so most of the time, the advantages you get are just so like astronomical compared to the downsides. And I just find it funny that some people are just like, no, I just want a regular vanilla Minecraft experience. I'm like, you don't want to like
You don't want to be able to fly. You don't want to be able to be like tank everything.
Yeah, and I get like some people are looking for that like harder survival experience, but from what I've seen, that's not really what keeps people on the server. Is it being just Minecraft? It's mostly, at least for me, big thing that kept me on there, because I can't play on a single Minecraft world usually for more than a couple days before I'm just like all right, on to the next thing, because my brain is very like progression focused.
Right, and there's not so very much progression in Minecraft. You just okay, well, I beat the dragon. Now what?
Yeah.
Yep.
But with BT, it's very much like the community aspect of it is the big thing for a lot of people. I mean, the races are what drew me in originally, and then I stuck around because, God, that community just has so many cool people in it. It's great. Even if I'm not like playing on the server frequently, I find myself just hopping into the voice channels just to hang out with people. Because on the Discord, because so that's a lot of what you do, Data. Daring, what have you been like doing for the server exactly?
I do a lot of different things, but I tend to say I try to empower others to do more. That's what I like doing. I like getting people the right tools they need to get what they want done. I also kind of do HR kind of stuff for the team a lot of times. I mentioned it before, but a lot of what I do is config work on the back end. Some of it is rather important. Sometimes I don't necessarily get everything right the first time. But hey, it is also important.
Daring here has also put a lot of time over the last month and a few months before that going over updates related to the 119 update and the Eco Enchants overhaul too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so BronyTales recently finally got updated to Minecraft 119, which has been like kind of, I feel like a lot of updates for Minecraft recently have been like called one of the biggest updates in Minecraft history, but like 119 is something else as well, like the biggest one since 116, I'd say.
Yeah, well, from the back-end perspective, from my perspective, moving from 116 to 117 was such a big jump that this is part of the reason why it took so long to go from 116 up, is because the back end, the code for how Minecraft operates, they no longer have everything in one directory. Now you have directories, and all the code was scattered. And so a lot of the custom coding that I've been doing, I have a lot of code that directly references Minecraft code. Because the API doesn't expose the methods that I need in order to do some of the stuff I want to do.
Yeah.
Most recently, the Skulk update is a good example of that.
Oh yeah.
There is no API exposure for Skulk events, so I had to inject it myself. And updating 50-some plugins takes time.
Yeah. I can imagine. Considering, a majority of them are at least like modified in some way for the server specifically. So the update to 119 has been fun, I'd imagine. Especially with like you mentioned, the Eco Enchants overhaul, with which was a major plugin that the server had. Which introduced like, how many enchants did it introduce when we first had it? Like, it was
At least 2.
Probably about 200.
Yeah, closer to
probably
200.
a little more than 4.
At least 3.
Yeah. But no more than 10,000.
Yeah, I've seen some people walking around with gear which had 40 different enchantments on it, and like, how?
It's ridiculous. It's insane the amount of crap that people will do. But so yeah, that plugin had a massive overhaul on the developer's side of it. So you guys had to rework a lot of things for the server, right? Or
Well, that too, yeah. A lot of the rework was involved with balancing of the enchantments because there, frankly, were way too many, and it was kind
yeah,
of overwhelming.
Hmm.
So,
there was a lot of clutter. There were a lot of enchants that were kind of redundant. There were some that were
yeah, redundancies, what I was about to mention, because in Minecraft you have enchantments such as Bane of Arthropods. It has increased damage against spiders. That's it. And Eco Enchants comes along and has, what if we had Bane of Arthropods too?
And
just
stuff explicitly for like magma cubes and slimes. There's some
gosh.
clutter in there.
Yeah. Just like, heck yeah. I specifically need to farm to farm killing striders. Where's my Bane of Striders? But no, it's fun though. Those enchants are kind of admittedly a lot of them are a lot of fun to mess around with, but there are some that are very obviously either redundant or there were some that were just a little bit overpowered.
I would
Yeah,
um,
say that for sure. Hmm.
yeah. So we had Unbreaking 2, which what did they call it? Indestructibility, and then
yep.
Sharpness 2, which was Razor,
Yep.
and like, oh man, you could one shot most mobs. There's one time I remember resetting the end, and I hadn't even announced that it had been reset yet. I was being a prankster, and I thought I'd go around and I'd add twice the number of crystals to heal the dragon. So I thought it'd be really funny to add a bunch of crystals. And as I was adding crystals to start healing the dragon even faster, someone popped through the portal, flew right up to the dragon, and like three hit it. Like, oh, okay.
Oh wow. Eco enchants plus MCMMO equals one
Yeah.
hell of a drug. Oh man. No. I I apologize to any of the listeners who have no idea anything we're talking about. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, this is very very Minecraft heavy. So hopefully some people from BronyTales are listening. If this is your first time listening, welcome aboard. This is Out of
Hello.
Our Mains. Great podcast. My friend Robert's not here right now, but we should listen to some of our other episodes. I should probably save the shameless self promotion for the end. And I'm not
Anyway,
talking about
try
the dimension.
BronyTales.
Have you heard of the Out of Our Mains podcast?
mc.bronytales.com, or is it just bronytales.com?
Yeah, mc.bronytales.com is the like you plug it into Minecraft. Bronytales.com is the website.
Gotcha. Yeah, so go check it out. And there's a ton of information. There's like a live map of the server that goes at all times. If you go a little north and east, you can see a giant Kronk Hitch pixel art. That was my doing. But
Okay, I gotta see this now.
you haven't seen it?
The only time I was on the map was to verify that it was functioning.
Oh, gotcha. It should still be there. Because I spent a considerable amount of time there. I really hope it didn't get screwed over by the 119 thing, because I spent a lot of my time in that chunk.
Would that have been the old No Life?
Yeah.
I think I remember where that is. Oh, yep, there it is.
Yep. I'll show a picture of it on screen right now. But yeah, and there's a ton of other stuff similar to that elsewhere on the server, and there's even a dedicated pixel art server, but some of us decided, why make it in the pixel art server where we have unlimited resources when we can make it in the survival world when we have basically unlimited resources?
Right.
Just having played on the server for so long. But yeah, I know, actually, I wanted to ask for anyone who doesn't know, because most of the people from BronyTales who are listening to this probably know at least a little bit about everything that we've been talking about thus far. But I figured I'd ask, Data, would you mind talking a little bit about like how BronyTales started, like your experience with Pony Minecraft beforehand, and like that sort of thing.
So my first experience with Brony Minecraft, I don't actually remember which server it was, but I know I jumped between 1 and 2 servers just to see what it was all about, and I think one of those was Squarehorse. And the reason I think it was Squarehorse was because like a few weeks after an incident with Concordia, I jumped over Squarehorse, like, hey, let's try this one out. And I jumped into the survival map, like, wait a minute, I have an inventory with stuff in it. I must have been here before. I actually have a public plugin that I published way back when that was inspired by one of those servers. They had a town that had some clouds that were scattered around the cloud, and then they had a pony race, which was Pegasus, and Unicorn. And Unicorn had some spell that would let them walk on clouds, is what they advertised. And oh, hey, there's clouds out here. Oh, that's cool. These look like they're hand built. There's not many in the world. I wonder if I could just programmatically add clouds everywhere. So I made a program to do that.
Yeah.
And so BronyTales has clouds everywhere.
Yeah. I didn't realize that that was one of the first things that you worked on. Interesting. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, published that back in 2012.
Yeah.
I think it was 20. Maybe yeah. So Pony Concordia was one that I started playing quite heavily.
Mm-hmm.
When was that? 2017, 2018, somewhere around there. At the time, I was working from home at some data center, and I had a lot of downtime where my job was to watch for alerts as they pop up on the screen and do something about them if they don't go away, which on night shift was very dull. There was not a lot that went on during the night. So to pass the time, I decided I'd play a game that I could drop at any time I needed to drop. So I can't do something like a combat game because I can't just walk away from a combat game. My character will die and I'll lose all my progression. Minecraft, though, I can just log off. I'll do some Minecraft. Looked around some Minecraft servers, found Pony Concordia. Oh, this is kind of cool. And got lost promptly. Like,
yeah.
I got out of the castle, walked into the forest, and I had no idea what was going on.
I have distinct memories of doing the exact same thing.
But I got to chatting around with the community, and the community was like super supportive and really awesome to hang out with. So I played on that server, no-lifed that server for months straight. We're talking 14 to 18 hours a day on Minecraft.
Wow.
Well, I had 12-hour long shifts.
Yeah. And a little bit of time at home before bed.
Yep.
Wow.
And so, yeah, that was a ton of fun. And there was a bit of drama that occurred on the server due to suspicions around a player that I played with, so then I couldn't play on that server anymore. Mm-hmm. So I got to thinking, the server was great, the community was great, the management was not. So I wonder, could I make a server that embodies all of the first two parts and improves management? Could we actually make this server something that feeds into itself? Yeah. And that's where the inspiration for BronyTales came from. Amusingly enough, we were about a few weeks into asset creation. We had a super flat world, which was later moved on to the build world for staff, working on building some assets for building a map. And while we were in the middle of doing this, suddenly Concordia decided to announce they were going to shut down. So we suddenly had 20 to 50 people all looking for a server to play on, and all we had was a train station. Oh,
Crunch time.
yes! That train station was actually phased out recently. We moved on to a cave system, which looks fantastic. Everyone that worked on that did an amazing job, which you can look at if you jump onto the server, go through the portal room. There's a portal to go through, so you can go through all the rules pages that were put up there, or just join the server. If you've never joined the server before, that's where it puts you, in that cave system.
You may recognize a couple areas from it if you've watched the show. Hopefully.
If you've watched all the show, it's more
Yeah.
of later seasons. It's inspired by Underneath the Tree of Harmony. It's really well done. I like it.
Yeah. Well, so that's how Equestria was made.
Yes.
So I figured as well, Daring, because you actually you were running Square Horse, right?
Yes.
Before BronyTales, you were the owner of that server, right?
Yes, I wasn't the original owner. The founders had long since left when I eventually got the... We never officially had any owners when I was around, but I was responsible for paying the bills and stuff, so...
Gotcha. Yeah, so how did... I guess, could you tell us a little bit about, like, Square Horse and how you found yourself in that position and, just your experience with that server before, like, you guys ended up... Because there was, like, some sort of merge that happened between you and BronyTales, but
Yep.
But before that, a little bit of the history that you know of, at least.
So I first joined the PonyMC community back in 2010 on the first, or one of the first servers called Ponycraft.
Okay.
After that went down due to staff issues and stuff, another server was put up called BronyCraft. Fast forward probably a year-ish, that server also had problems.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the staff split off and eventually formed Squarehorse. It wasn't called Squarehorse at the start, it was My Little Crafty.
Oh!
But
I actually didn't know that. Wow. Okay. Because I recognize that name. Huh. More you know. Alright. Sorry to cut you off. That surprised me. Anyways.
You're perfectly good. But a lot of cool people at the time formed that server. It was very, very unique. But as time went on, a lot of the server changed. It changed management more than once. Mm-hmm. I wasn't the first change. I was one of the last ones, but...
I find it rather interesting that your origin stories are very similar to mine.
Yeah, I have been around in the community for a long time.
Yeah.
And I've just kind of gone where it took me. You did mention stuff about the merge with BT that we did.
I was about to mention that specifically. It was towards the end of Squarehorse when you announced that you were looking... Oh, when was that?
Sometime 2020, right?
Yes, I think we did a mutual thing where we promoted each other and for use of the Pony plugin. A while after that, we just couldn't keep the numbers up anymore. A lot of staff lost interest. There was a skeleton crew working on a server that needed so many more people, so we just had to close it down. The Discord eventually started to lose activity due to the lack of something around it. So we had two options on the table: completely start anew since our attempts weren't working, or find somebody else to merge with to try and hopefully keep our community around. BT wasn't the first option. It was the second. The first was Ponyville Plaza.
Oh, yeah.
We saw a lot of interest around that community and thought we could put our skills there to try and help them get off the ground.
Yeah, because they were kind of just starting their Minecraft, because they weren't originally a Minecraft server, were they?
They still aren't. They just happen to have one.
Yeah.
Yep. They didn't seem receptive to a lot of the changes I had been suggesting when I did join. A lot of the staff, some of the lower level staff there, did really agree with what I was saying, but it just didn't get up to the upper management. And my mind was already made up when I saw that. So I reached out to BronyTales because we had worked together on some stuff before, and I figured, well, hey, we already have a somewhat good relationship.
Yeah.
Might as well reach out. If they say no, they say no. We'll just move on and see what else we can find. Derpy was very understanding and said yes.
So, full disclosure here, this is the first time I heard about that you were trying to go over to Ponyville Plaza. All I have to say is their loss.
Yeah, holy crap.
When you were talking about wanting to move over to BronyTales, I know I outwardly wasn't fully receptive to it, because inwardly I was kind of suspicious, because like, okay, you are way too skilled for this, because there's got to be some catch.
The catch is you get me.
I mean, to be fair, Data, you two are way overqualified for
Yeah.
for what you do. But yeah, so the Square Horse BronyTales merge ended up happening, and it all went perfectly smoothly on the staff end of things. There were no issues whatsoever.
No issues
right?
whatsoever. No drama.
Yeah,
No,
let's
not at all.
let's not get into that though.
If anything is
that was...
constant within the pony community, if anything's constant within the Minecraft community, if anything's constant between the merge between those communities, is drama.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Unfortunately, BronyTales has had its fair share of it, but most of the time it's been pretty swift in getting past it
and bouncing back.
So,
we lean rather heavily on community, and so long as the community is willing to support us, we are again going to continue supporting them. So that's what ended up happening, is community decided to, well, we still want to stick around and keep this Minecraft server going, because this drama is not worth the drama.
Again, the community is a big reason that I ended up sticking around for so long. But yeah, I figured actually, Darren, you mentioned a little bit that you were looking into pony Minecraft servers back in 2010. So
Yep.
You were there at the very start of the fandom, correct? Would you mind talking a little bit about like how you got into the show, and I'll ask you as well, Data, in a minute. But yeah, how'd you end up finding out about My Little Pony and getting involved with the fandom?
So I met a friend on PlayStation. We met randomly on Little Big Planet, the first one.
Nice.
And one thing led to another, and we more or less found ourselves on the PC and with Minecraft. So one day, that friend says, "Hey, do you want to join the server? You may not necessarily like the contents, but I like the people on it." So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And I'm like, wait, what? This is a server around that? Are you okay?
Are you trying to tell me something?
If he said anything other than no, he was lying.
Yeah. So I wasn't into the show, but I still played on that server a bit. But
yeah,
as I hung around the people and him, he eventually convinced me to give it a shot. Originally, couldn't get past the intro. Couldn't stand it. So I just skipped right to the episodes. But yeah, after that, I more or less got hooked.
And you've been in the fandom ever since. Did you have any time where you like stepped away from it or anything, or have you been like in the fandom since back then? Because that was 2010, right? Or
2010.
did you?
Yep.
Okay.
I took a long break from Square Horse, but that's the only break I've taken from the fandom.
Gotcha. All right. Wow. That's crazy to me. Because I didn't get into the show until 2014, or was it 2015? I think it was in between seasons 4 and 5. I forget, but it's just crazy to me how like the show started to gain like a fan base in the beginning, because Season 1 is I've gone back and rewatched Season 1, and it's very good, but on first watch, at least like you mentioned in like getting past the intro, when I first watched the show, I couldn't do it. A friend of mine sent me like a link to a place where I could very legally watch all the episodes of Season 1.
I can hear the quotation marks.
Yep. I started like episode 1, and I just could not. I couldn't handle it. I'm like, I can't watch this. This is too kiddies, too girly for me. And I didn't get into it until like later by happenstance. But anyways, yeah. Well, that's awesome. And so because your kind of introduction to the show was through the fandom. A lot of people talk about like how either they found the fandom first or the show first. So you kind of found the fandom first, which is pretty cool.
Yep, through a Minecraft server, nonetheless.
Yeah,
that's insane.
The ultimate origin story.
Yeah, for working on a Brony Minecraft server, that is one heck of an origin story. Yeah, Data, I know you've been around the fandom for a very long time as well. Yeah, how'd you get into it?
I forget how I found the video, but I found a video of a guy doing a high school PowerPoint presentation in physics class about the ways that My Little Pony defy physics.
Oh my gosh.
So he had scenes like Rainbow Dash going faster than the speed of sound, and he calculated the speed at which she was accelerating via the sonic cone that was formed around her hooves, concluding that the force of acceleration should splatter her brains against her skull. Something like that.
Wow.
Butterflies catching a Pegasus falling from the sky. And so I got through the whole presentation. The thing's amazing. It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I got to thinking, well, those scenes actually looked kind of cool. I am really curious, what is the context behind that? What is going on here? So I went searching. I went looking around, and I found a YouTube video of the entirety of Season 1. Like an hour-long video, or however long it is, like 20 minutes times 20 episodes or something like that.
Yeah, somewhere
like
around
the entirety of Season 1.
A few hours.
And I was a college student at the time, and well, I don't have anything to do tonight. I'll just watch it.
Yep.
I don't know what episode he was going over. I'll just watch until I find it. And then I kept going.
Yeah.
And then I got to the end, and I'm like, okay, that was awesome. Is this show still going on? And I looked around. Oh, Season 2 just started. Cool.
So that would have been around 2011, right? Like mid 2011.
Yep.
Or late.
Yep, 2011. So yeah, I've been in fandom ever since. Kind of touched basically all facets of Brony community. I've hung out with musicians, artists, vendors, staffers at conventions. I've actually run a fiction archive, and well, now a Minecraft server.
Yep. Yeah, me and some of my friends have had the other people who know Data have had sort of the running joke that somehow he knows literally everyone in the fandom, in some way, shape, or form. Because he's notorious for, like, I'll bring up a name. He's like, "Oh yeah, I met that guy. Just like I had coffee with that guy a couple months ago." It's like, what? But but yeah, that's that's pretty interesting. And you've been have either of you, like, what's both of you guys, because I know Data, you're actually DataByte, you're the first person on the podcast that I've met in person. Everyone else I have yet to. But including Robert, actually. We're planning on going to HarmonyCon next year, though.
I've been thinking about that one. I still haven't gone down to there.
HarmonyCon's very, very fun. It was.
Yeah.
I've only been to 3, but
Only.
it was definitely up there. Yeah, all in 1 year. So. Oh, but what was I gonna say? Yeah, when did you start going to conventions?
That would have been around 2014, I think. Yeah, 2014. My first convention ever was TrotCon, and
Oh, nice.
so there's a little bit of a family reunion-esque feeling to it. So I try to go to TrotCon every year.
Yeah, that's I was there this previous one. That's where I met you. So yeah, well, in person at least.
Yeah.
We've been talking for a few years. So, but yeah,
The hotel used to be in downtown. You had to pay for parking.
oh, that's rough. But TrotCon's definitely been growing, especially considering the memes and such has gotten it to have a much bigger attendance than it used to have. But Daring, do you have any experience with going to conventions or anything?
Unfortunately, I do not. I
Dang.
haven't been to any one of them a single time, unfortunately.
Dang. Gotta get you out to one. So, but actually, Data. I did have one question that I didn't actually ask you about this before the podcast. I didn't let you know, so you haven't had time to prepare an answer.
Ooh, hot seat.
Are you still not caught up on the show?
Yeah. I quit keeping up with G4 after the Cutie Mark Crusader episode, simply because, like, you can't top that for me. That is, like, they made it.
Are you talking about Crusaders of the Lost Mark?
Yes.
Where they got their cutie marks?
Yes. Oh,
Gotcha.
I was so happy for them. I've caught a few episodes since then, mostly because somebody sat me down in front of the TV. Here, let's watch this together. Like, okay.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm caught up with G5 though. Those are adorable.
Yeah. Actually, that is something I wanted to ask you guys about, because this is I'm not gonna go into my thoughts necessarily, because I've been itching to talk about this, but I'll wait for Robert. But Chapter 2 of Make Your Mark recently came out. So I guess not just of that specifically, but yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on G5 so far? Because there's been a movie, there's been the whole Tell Your Tale series on YouTube, there's been the Make Your Mark special, as well as 8 episodes, and another special coming soon. But yeah, so
Tell Your Tale is good at what it does. It's not a serious watch. Make Your Mark, I will have to say that Chapter 2 is markedly better than Chapter 1. It's more childish, but it's more professionally childish. So it kind of a way to put it. It is very well done. I don't know how to put it to you, but I like Chapter 2 a lot. It's,
Gotcha. Daring, have you watched much of G5?
I haven't watched the YouTube series, but I am caught up on pretty much everything else. I think the movie was good,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I do agree that Chapter 1 was a little bit rough. I
Mm-hmm.
think 2 is a little bit rough too, but it is getting better, and I do think it'll be refined more over time as they get more experience under their belt with the assets and stuff.
Yeah. I have to say, I have to hold my tongue on a lot of things because I have a lot of opinions, but I'll spare you guys of all my thoughts on that because it's a topic for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I guess something else I should ask about. Without like, I guess because this is and tell me if you can't talk too much about this because I know this is kind of stuff you want to keep close to your chest. You want to hold your cards and everything. But do you guys have any like any big plans, big changes for BT that you're like hoping to get around that you can talk about, I guess? Or like things that you want to do, not necessarily what's coming in the near future, because, I imagine you can't talk about that yet. But,
well, I have a to-do list in front of me, which fills a whole notepad. Uh, uh,
nice.
a lot of stuff has been crossed off from the list, and then I remake the list to take out the old items, and then I add new items to the bottom, and it's an evolving to-do list.
Yeah.
I have a few things written down which are all bug fixes. For instance, there's a new bug with the Pony plugin regarding when you get your wings wet, which is supposed to be fixed tomorrow. I just fixed it, in fact, while we were talking.
Nice.
And then I have
The
another
grind never
one
stops.
related to a lag event that Daring found, which so I'm looking into that one. I've actually got the code on my screen right now. I was messing around with that. So most of my to-do list has been bug fixes, but once I get like all of the bigger stuff, bigger performance stuff, and quality of life stuff figured out, uh, I'd really like to start working on revamping the Pony plugin again. Because so a little bit of backstory on the Pony plugin is I had really ambitious plans for the Pony plugin
Mm-hmm.
that were hastily shortened when I realized I had been planning on 3 weeks of development or 3 months of development, and after not having started it yet, suddenly I had 50 people looking to play with it. Like, oh crap!
Yeah.
So, I spent an entire day and a half working on the plugin, and I got something functional and working, and we deployed the entire server within 2 or 3 days, um, with a few glaring bugs, but hey, we got it there.
Yeah.
And uh, I was wanting to get back to developing that and actually introducing some of the features that I had been planning on introducing. For instance, the leveling system. It currently goes from level to level, and all you have to do is check all the boxes and you move to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to something similar, but I want to add a little bit more class customization so that a player can choose uh, what sort of character they are. So if they're a Pegasus, are they going to be a flighty character or are they a fighty character? Little things that they can customize about the perks that they get when they level up.
Yeah. That makes sense, and that would be a lot of fun. The plugin as is it is pretty good, but yeah, it would be cool if there was some level of customization there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be interesting, though I imagine that's an endeavor.
Oh,
Otherwise,
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
yeah. Otherwise, that probably would have been done a lot sooner.
Yeah. Part of the
uh,
problem is that there's no real good universal method for creating interfaces for player input. They have
yeah,
all of that for Bedrock, but not for Java. So you end up having to come up with janky chest-based interfaces. And the reason I say
yeah,
janky is because it's not designed to do that, so you have to put a lot of effort into making sure that A, it's performant and it's not going to kill everybody else's performance, and two, reliable, is not going to break on you if somebody clicks a button 3 times in a row. And then the key feature there then is easy to use. I need to have a library that is self-explanatory. I don't want to have to read 4 pages of documentation to figure out that argument number 3 of this function cannot be this value because it doesn't return an error when it's that value, but it doesn't work. I've run into libraries like that. There are some people who have
uh,
developed libraries specifically to do what I'm talking about, but everyone that I have used either doesn't do what I want it to do or doesn't do it well. And like I can do better than that, sort of a thing.
I getcha. I should mention that BronyTales does run like completely on vanilla Minecraft. Like there's no mods or anything involved in the back end of it, as far as I'm aware. Because you can connect with just a regular
Hmm.
Java client with no no Forge, no Fabric, no whatever. It just works, and there's some crazy plugins there that change the game significantly. Even is with the 119 update, is Bedrock working right now?
I haven't tested it, but it should be.
I think we've
Gotcha.
gotten some Bedrock players joining. I believe there's an auto updater now for that too, right?
I
Yeah.
So
can check right now because I think I have the server on
Yeah.
on my phone.
Yeah, that was one of
On
the updates that I worked on when we were pushing out the 119 update was to get the proxy to update the Bedrock protocol on a daily basis, and so far it's
ah,
been working. So
that's good. Yeah, it's really cool the fact that you can connect um
yeah,
with a completely different release of Minecraft. I mean, you used to be able to connect all the way back from 1.9 to the server. I think now it's changed to
yeah, we changed it to
116 because of
116 because really there's so many things that we rely on in the server that you just don't get in 1.8 or one all the way up to like 112. You just don't get those features. So you join and you're
yeah,
like, this is really ugly. Well, it's ugly because you're not using the right version.
yeah. Um, but it is still cool that you can connect with Bedrock on mobile, and if you're willing to do some shenanigans on your consoles and
Yeah.
such. But yeah, because in case people listening don't know, that's not a regular function of Minecraft. That's not a thing you can normally do. And then I figured, like, because you said you worked at Data. You said you worked at Data worked at a data center.
Yep.
You said you worked with not a data center, but oh yeah. What actually? I should just ask. What is your background when it comes to coding and programming and such?
I am primarily self-taught, although I do have 2 degrees. Um, Most of my background is sort of a jack of all trades. And I do mean jack of all trades, all the way down to construction and handyman work. Uh,
Yeah,
so I have background in networking and desktop support and pro application development and web design. Currently, where I work right now in my position, I do a lot of, well, actually, I don't even do a whole lot of design. I come up with the spec sheet and I send it off to other developers to build.
Yeah. Again, a little overqualified for putting
Putting a Minecraft server
a
together.
ridiculous amount of time into funny block horse game.
Well, all that experience
So
that I've got just ensures that we have a server that is, well, stable, but also unique. A lot of the stuff that we have on the server is not stuff that you'll find anywhere else. It adds a little bit
yeah,
of content to the server that, hey, that's kind of cool. And if that's what keeps you around and gives you more chance to interact with the community, well, that's awesome.
heck yeah.
Hmm.
And then yeah, Daring, what's your do you have a background in, because we haven't really talked too much about this, but do you have a background in anything related to what you do for the server, like professionally or like school wise or anything like that?
Not really, no. I've pretty much picked up everything I've learned through either seeing other people do it or experiencing it myself.
Yeah.
That's where I've gotten today. I used to start out by doing really small servers, and then I wanted to take that further with Square Horse. And I eventually volunteered to be on the staff team there, and one thing led to another.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
kind of the same for me too. I'm just remembering a certain thing when you said you start with small servers. I also started with small servers, not just running them, but building them and designing them for other people. I used to work freelance building Minecraft plugins for server owners. So
Oh.
so I'd make custom content for completely random servers that probably don't exist anymore. A
Yeah.
long time ago.
All right. And then I guess the final thing that I wanted to ask you guys about, which is probably the most important of the questions I've asked so far. Best pony?
Scootaloo.
Chrysalis.
Zip. Gotta be Zip. Chapter 2 just exemplifies Zip as best pony. Because she hates sitting still. She hates talking about feelings and mushy stuff. But I mean, she puts all of that aside if her friends needs to talk. She's like, okay, let's talk.
Yeah.
Just everything about Zip.
Daring, do you have a favorite G5 pony thus far?
The non-serious answer would be McSnips-a-lot.
McSnips.
The crab. Yeah.
Oh, is that his name? I freaking love Hitch. Anyways.
But yeah, Hitch. Hitch, definitely.
Hitch, definitely? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, Data, you didn't say Starlight or Hitch for either of your answers, so, we're gonna have some words later. Although I guess you don't have too much experience with Starlight, considering you quit, season 5, right? Was that when the CMC got their cutie marks? Because that was the cutie mark season, right?
Yeah, it would have been season 5. Yep.
Yes. So you haven't had much experience with Starlight.
The
Other
stuff
than
that I
me.
have seen from Starlight's exemplifies that Starlight is just Twilight 2.0.
She kind of filled the role
She's
that
the new and
Twilight
improved
had.
Twilight.
Yeah, she the 2.0 is very much emphasized because she's Twilight but better. No, but she has a lot of good unique stuff. Anyways, I'm not going to go into my rant about why Starlight Glimmer is the best character in all of fiction. But yeah, I think that's about everything. So I think that's about everything I wanted to ask you guys about. So at the end of every episode, I have sort of a we do sort of this thing where we have a we have a question of the day. We'll have things like, oh, what are your thoughts so far on like a topic that we've had, or things like that. Do you guys have any sort of idea on what a good question you'd like to hear people answer would be? may be related to BronyTales or Minecraft in general.
If you could see one feature added to Minecraft, or any game for that matter, what would that be?
So any sort of feature added to Minecraft or any game. Interesting. Maybe a feature that you haven't like seen in a game, in any game other than one game in it, and maybe you feel it's underutilized or something. Yeah, that would be cool. And since you answered that one, daring, there's another thing we ask at the end of every episode. We ask people to send us a picture of like a random household item on Twitter. Now, we've asked people to send us pictures of brooms, of their shoe, of, like, one time we asked people to send us pictures of their pony plushes. We got some good pictures for that one. Things like that. What should people send us on Twitter?
Let's see a candle. Your candles.
Candle?
Sure.
That's a pretty
Why
good
not?
one. I don't think we've done that yet.
Not many people have candles in their households anymore. That'd be interesting.
Maybe if you don't have a candle, maybe like a light source of some sort. Maybe you have like a cool lantern, or maybe you just send a picture of a light bulb.
Yeah, just a picture light bulb.
Give us your fanciest LEDs.
Yeah, heck yeah! Show us your glow strip on that you have set up in your room, or your RGBs.
RGB.
Or just a candle.
Yeah. So if you want to answer the question of the day, you can respond in the comments below if you're listening on YouTube, or if you're listening on Spotify or any of the other podcast platforms. You can tweet your answer at us at Out of Our Mains using the hashtag MainPod. If you're sending us pictures, though, do that on Twitter. Once again, at Out of Our Mains using the hashtag MainPod. Yeah, let's see your light sources. Let's see your candles, your whatever you have in your house. I think that about wraps things up. Do you guys have anything in particular you want to plug? I guess you should probably do your BronyTales plug.
Yeah, so anyway, join BronyTales.
Oh, I forgot. I actually forgot one question I need to ask you guys.
Ooh, hot seat.
Yeah. Have you heard of the Out of Our Mains podcast?
No, you should tell us
I don't
about
think
it.
I have. Yeah.
Okay, so it's this show where there's these two hopeless, colorful horse addicts that ramble on about a show for little girls. Actually, I think the latest episode that's going to be up it actually features two people who work on a pony Minecraft server.
Minecraft?
Who does that? Seriously.
Yeah, I know. Who plays Minecraft in 2022? Holy crap.
Who would spend tens of thousands of hours playing Minecraft?
Oh. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, for listening. I cut you off there at the end, Daring. Were you about to say something before I went into my stupid meme question?
Yeah. We actually have a big event coming up on the 29th of October.
Oh, yeah.
I expect it to be a lot of fun. So
yeah, I've seen pieces of it. I'm loving it so far. I've got a sneak peek of it. It's good.
Oh.
Heck yeah.
If you have Minecraft and would really like to just experience what BT's all about, hop on our server on the 29th of October at 1 second, let me grab that real quick. Sorry, no preparation.
And for the full experience, we recommend trying out the My Little Pony fabric mod. It changes your player model into a pony and lets you see everybody else as a pony. So you get to see their custom skins that they come up with. Like, some of them are really creative and really well done.
All the block horses.
Yes.
All right, and I have the time. It is on October 29th at 2 p.m. Eastern.
All right. So yeah, if that's something that you're interested in, go check it out. And yeah, go check out BronyTales. Go support them. Go say hi to DataByte or Daring Shepard, because they pop in a VC pretty frequently. As do I. You could say hi to me if you're not already on the server.
Hello.
So yeah. Oh, hello.
Hello there.
All right. Oh, again, thank you so much for watching/listening, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Have a good one.